Analine Balagalo Nebo, Analine Balagalo Nebo, Anaelo, Malono, Nasanyo, Malono, Nasanyo, Monge by Casamio, Monge by Casamio, Monge by Casamio. When a new wing and one, when a new wing and one, what a good number again, no, never one, what a number again, no, never I love my young, I come over. I love my neighbor. Baba lo never, Abalay, Abalo never, Abalay, Abalo never, Abalay. You're in there, you're low, you're in there, you're low.
Good evening. So I want to welcome all our viewers and listeners across the globe. I am Alfonso and so this is the Sunday editions of the Examiner right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. Good evening. Good to have you here. Wherever you are, we say welcome on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. That's the song that introduces the program. I am your host and presenter this beautiful Sunday evening here from the East Coast and the lead angle of the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, Liberia Public Radio. I am your host, Alfonso and so we say good evening and welcome to this evening segment of the Examiner. The Examiner comes away every Sunday right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. And very shortly, hopefully the Analysts is going to be joining. And even if they are not here, trust me, I have the strength and we can do it together. Because most of the time when they are here, they talk tabata. And it's all about protecting their political Goliaths. So whether they are here or they are not here, we will keep this conversation going. You are more or less important here. However, they are very, very much vital into this conversation because there's a need that we hear every side of the program. It's good to have you here. We are glad to have you here this evening, whatever you are, from far and near. We say good to have you. I see here the Secretary General of the Grand Unit Association is also here. Good evening, my dear brother and friend from Des Moines, Iowa. Ruth Meyer is here. Nathaniel Alexander, Mary Dolo. Let's give recognition. Mr. Wilson to Bazina Benedict is also here to go into Weirdo. Is here as one of our listeners and prime-time viewer. Tawanda T, to Wesley Eric David Page the second. My goodness. When you swallow GB when you call that name, you don't take time, your throat will be stuck. Okay, Maureen's cover is here. We say good evening. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much. Today is Sunday, and we need to have this conversation as usual. This is the Examiner. It comes away here every Sunday right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. Liberia Public Radio, and LPR TV. Let's take this quick commercial commitment and we will be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your call and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services, and your friends in business.
There you have it.
Hello, listeners. This is Mazola, the lover boy. I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful, inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to wrap it up for you.
There you have it. So our own lover boy, Mazola Gisi, is heard every Sunday right here on the Diaspora Informative News outlet like Republic Radio, Dancing for Jesus. His program is very informative, very inspirational, soul lifting. He calls that a therapy-free exercise where you don't have to pay anything. You don't need to go to a doctor. You just listen to some inspirational word, beautiful gospel songs, Liberia, and everywhere that will be soul lifting. So join him every Sunday, 12. He wasn't on today, I believe. I really didn't check, but I believe he wasn't on. But he always on Sunday. And so, if you are here for the first time, Minister Alice, Dr. good evening. Good to have you here. Is one of the gospel singers right here in the U.S. Area, based in Des Moines, Iowa. Madam Director Cyrus, good to have you. Joe, we are glad to have you. Sata George, and of course, my own sister Vera is in the house right here from the Ocean State of Rhode Island. Happy Sunday. Good to have all of you here. And my new partisan right here on LPR, she has joined the independent rank of this network to give voice to the voiceless, to those that are unable to speak for themselves, and has decided to break rein with the liberal progressive Samson Brown-Toll, who is one of those leading the conspiracy on this network with his folks. Fatu, good to you. You found a right footing. The Fatu man, V.M. Sherry, is now an independent. A successful process of paper, she has crossed to the independent wing of the Liberia Public Radios. Samuel G., good to have you here. We say good evening and welcome to the show. Very shortly, the analysts, some of them will be here. If they are not here, you are well fed enough to have this conversation, and we will be intending to activate the line here as soon as possible, and I will be able to have tonight conversations. Too much is at stake. You have the choice to decide to speak how your country is being run, how activities, how the governing aspect. The Sunant is, the State of Union of the country is a few days, week or less away. Your anticipations, what do you hope to hear from the president? What you make of all of the happenings in Liberia? What was then announced in a contrast that you wish? And of course, one of the biggest social events is ongoing. That's the traditional counter meet aimed the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. Among my mother's children, I love myself the best. And so this is what the guys from Zulu Whiskey did. It's a special song. Samson too has migrated. He has moved to Lofa. He says he's a Lofian now because this is where the state power is. He has denied himself his natural born identity. He moves to where the gravy is because he wants to hook up with the folks in the bare wheel. He wants to be friends with those at the executive mansions and Capitol buildings, LPRC, NPA, Popular Works. So he has denied himself his own right. He's no longer a Grandidians. He's a Lothians, which is okay. Lofa is in Liberia. That is fine. But I, as a Grandidians, I am proud. And this is the newest song. I saw the song today that kind of tricked my mind. And I think it is time for all of us in the diaspora, depending on where you come from, your county. These county meets are meant to rally support of the young athletes in the country, not just only living there alone with the representatives, senators, and all of that, but we all can chip in. We try for some point in time, but we'll try to reach a preliminary playing cross country. I believe the president took a kickoff in Cape Mount, which is a great thing, and they have expanded the county meet, which of course give a test to every county to see what is happening. We can just, and this is what government needs to be done. And it is good that these county meets, the preliminaries are played and divided into zone, into quarters, and people are playing home front and gradually to move to Monrovia, I believe, in the quarterfinals or semifinal, whatever it is, but which is also good. But this is something that I got today. I don't know who is the author, but these are young, talented, and great ingredient. This song is very inspirational, and thus is meant to energize the soccer team.
We are the real DJ Square Production Classic. They wanna can play, we won't be there. Helping the ball, we will teach them. We coming for say like that. To see a block, try on their way. I bring up black where Bola post to her. Bola post to her. When it's better, you see the body post to her.
Loving how we get it. Fucking spirit, we get it. What minute we know it. Take a move, we get it. Pump it out to be there. If you see me, then you'll see them. You're telling to move. We sing on the tone. I sing on the tone. Like while we're been in, like we're turning out to risk it. My boys on Putu. My boys on Bazon. So now you see them. You post so hard. They post so hard.
What a beautiful song that is meant to energize the boys. We have to do everything possible to reach out to the soccer team as we have done in the past. And I hope the Green United Association, this is all important and not just for Green United Association, but nearly all of the countries that doesn't even exist, they have all of the countries' organizations in this country here. I think this is a perfect time for all of us put aside and do the politics and also actively engage in the social aspect. The social recreational aspect is very, very much vital because this is where they use this time to support young athletes who are physically fit and are able to give back to their county, whether they're playing soccer, they're playing basketball, kickball. I think they have a variety of activities, and it's very, very much vital for us to do that. And I hope the Green United associations and all relevant Green United organizations will use this time to chip in to help the soccer squad. We have done that in the past. We tried to reach out to the management of the soccer team that I believe that came out in the Flying Eagle Gia. You know, G is leopard. You know how powerful that animal is in the forest or jungle where you may see it. And one thing interestingly I learned, way in the 80s, all of the songs from Grand Gita used to say how, but now is completely omitted. So if you go to any social gatherings, the song seems to be the one that people are really rocking down to their feet. And that was a very good one there. So I would say congratulations to the people of Zulu Whiskey tonight for their win in their at home. I believe the Grand Crew, 2-1. That is okay. So we'll be monitoring that, but I think it's meant to let all of us give support to our various counties. It doesn't matter where you come from, because I think it's important, by showing that standing with these teams, that sort of solidarity. There are things that we're actually to remember. We can put aside the politics aspect of it, but also engage in the social recreations of our various counties. And this county meet is one of the perfect ones. I believe they have the kickball, they have the football, I believe basketball, so I think track and field or whatever. But I think they have added a lot of stuff to it, which is good. And the good thing about AA is most of the games have been sort of decentralized, divide into zones, so people go in. So every county has, unlike all of the games years back used to be played in Monrovia. So what becomes of those that even live in the counties, nearby towns, cities, they really never had the opportunity to see their own county team, which I think was unfair to you just grab the team and bring them. But now they have access, they have the way to see their teams playing at home before even advancing to the next level. So we say congratulations to Zulu Soccer Squad for their win. We hope it continues, but ultimately it requires support. The game, in order to survive, the player has to be fair. They have a family, they get things to do. You don't want to have a player thinking how the son or the wife that is in the hospital to pay bill and all of that, and the player is not supported because the game of soccer is any competitions require concentration to focus mind with the objective to win. But when you have the mind so overcrowded with your own personal thing and the team that you play for as a group, and issues are not addressed, players are not taken care of, whether be it per diem or whatever fundings that are going to be given to them. If they are even coming to the city center to live with their family, and all of these things are not there, it makes it a problem because the concentration will not be there to the physical fitness of that, and to mental it, they will decline because there's some sort of retrospect. They're thinking, yes, I'm playing here, I'm eating here, but what becomes of my family? And I hope the technical squad, not just on the ground, in the interest of the country for successful tournament, I hope and pray all of these county, their technical squad are taking all of that into consideration to support all of these people. All the plenty lose money, and they say, well, it's time to bless people now. Whatever you take, it's time to bless them. Yeah, whether you take it the right way or whatever way you take it, that's working up from up the hill. So it's time to bless them by giving back to those teams so that they will be able to actively engage and maybe enter the grand finale. Hopefully. I have to take a pic of the schedule, entire county schedule. I don't know what next, who really they're going to be playing, but I do know it's being divided into zones. They're going to play in their own areas, and then later on, I believe in the quarterfinals, they move into Monrovia. And that's how it's going to look like. So, it's time for all of us to share our teams, our county, be proud of your county. In terms of support, to reach out to their technical staff, do your part. Don't worry about the other people, whether they're doing it or not. You do your part, and the conscience can be clear. And that's exactly it. I believe the Secretary General, Chris, is listening. I'm not sure what are the specific thing the Grand Unit Association is doing, but I think in the past they have. If not, if there's anything, they can reach out to us to let us know. We will also reach out to the technical team, hopefully, and any other county team that will want to. And that's what LPR is all about, Liberia Public Radio. Very inclusive, broad, open. So any county group of people from any county, they intend to reach out to their team and they intend to sort of build that sort of momentum, and they want us to have a conversation here. They are most welcome. Let us know, and we can also have that time. And that's what we're supposed to do as a people, as a nation. Sports is it's a unifying game. We know sports is one of the things that bring people together in good and bad times. It helps to mend those broken pieces, And so we used to see how the IEM Barrow used to be like those days during the hard tournament and all of that. I know that spirit had died down a little bit. Those days we used to see when those games being played at the Anthony Tubman Stadium to the Summons Canyon Sports Complex. The IE, the Barrows, and Joseph, the Oilers, Barman, and not to mention the Lone Star. People comes together as one unit, as one group, with an objective goal, that is to make sure your team wins. So at times we need to insert these sort of way back conversations and so on, sort of social aspect in order to kind of open up, because not everybody loves politics. Some people, politics have not served them well. So we have to be inclusive in our conversation. Having said that, just share with all, just in case if your county has played and they get a win, you want to share that with us, let us know. Kettle, the link is all out there. But something I've not had a chance to talk about is this sort of by or scholarship or whatever, a syndrome that has engulfed the country, the unsettlements and all of these information. So that is concerning. And I think we need to have these things discussed. And of course, sooner is in the making. So the President of the Republic of Liberia is to address the nation in the coming days, week, or less. It's quite interesting to see how divided the House is. Where would this address be taking place? The group calling itself minority, one group calling itself majority. What going to be their position? Is anybody doing anything to unify the country or the house? That is very, very, very key. Is GOL working in that direction? That we cannot definitively answer to that, but it's very much important. It's we're watching to see what ultimately is going to happen, because the deal is still undone. The other group on the other side, the minorities, is still putting, advancing their grievances, their concerns, whether those concerns will be met or whether there will be a accommodation to have this conversation. We're going to have two speakers for the first time in history. This seems to still exist. One is being recognized by the GOL, like the government, and you have the other side there. I mean, how we got to this point? What all of this? How we got to this point, and we cannot find solution to this? I saw the disaster that it brought recently when it comes to the inaugurations of the president of the Republic of Ghana. I don't know, should we say speaker number one, speaker number two, but this is just chaos. It's embarrassing, and it is time that they need to come together. Somebody, there must be a big boy in the room with pens should address this issue, because the blame game is too much. We're saying that the investigations is still hanging. We saw the decisions coming from the Supreme Court of Liberia, which many, including myself, still feels is inconclusive, using that sort of Latin word, which the group, the minority blacks, say is still inconclusive. But the government, Justice hired in law enforcer, that's the Minister of Justice, came and gave the interpretation, which you saw the pushback from the minority, and that they needed more information. What else? The Supreme Court of Liberia want to come to that. That is still unclear. So it's important that we have this conversation. We should not have such a divided society. It is just uncivilized, and this is why it started from the onset here. Some of us said the president, the executive. It is obvious. In most cases, politicians want to gain control of both houses in order to push their agenda. But in the interim, in the process of doing that, it has to be politically calculated. But what we saw happening for the first time in the history of the country, for the first branch of government to be so much invaded in the way it happened, and no one, really taking the lead to have this problem solved. And people were saying, "Oh, well, no, the executive can get involved." But of course, the executive was involved. We saw how the executive took position with respect to one group claiming itself to be the majority, and another group claiming itself to be the minority. And we expressed that apprehension here. And that's what we're seeing happening, because the group, the minority, they are forming another group, call themselves Law and Order. So we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Yes, they have that number to get certain things done, but by virtue of the Constitution, they cannot just go ahead to do anything they want to do. That's going to be a problem. So we're waiting whether the old men will kind of like bring it, but the water is already been diluted. So the water is already been poisoned. It's already contaminated. So how would this come to a conclusion? And this was one of the reasons we said, hey, this president should have gotten involved. Part of that is to do the backyard. Nothing wrong with that. And people didn't understand where we were coming from, where we were talking, because this is the same situation. We're doing everything possible to get at this point we find ourselves in. Politics is all about cutting deals. It's all about cutting deals. And the former president too should be blamed, because he did not. He, as a former president, happens to be one of the major opposition on the other end is a complete disaster. And he's not showing that leadership up to this present. Is he not entitled to social recreation, to have fun? Yes, he is a human being. He can do it. But when you find yourself in certain positions and you still ambitious to focus, to forge ahead, then you have to kind of like redefine yourself as to what you really want. So partly, CDC as a political party, a lack of political tolerance, Unity Party managed to get under their skin and so quickly, fastly, they fall into the political boogie of Unity Party. To allow the number 10% who is from your party to be kicked out, to be rooted out the way it has happened. They give rise to it. And the former president should be blamed. Because seditions never had a thought, for whatever reasons, they just dive into the narrative of the Unity Party and thinking that if Kofa is booted out, maybe it will come to that. No, complete illusion, fantasy. That's not what will happen. And most of the seditions, if we talk to them, they projected themselves. They felt that Kofa is not one of the original CDC. So it's like people who work hard, people who fought for the party were not getting the fruit of the party. And Kofa came, maybe stole the show, joined CDC at last for political expedience. And he was able to get such a huge political office as the number 3 person in the Republic of Liberia. But what did they understand? What Kofa was doing, it doesn't mean when you are opposition, you should be obstructive to the agenda of the government, because he was laying the potential future agenda for the party. But I think seditions or CDC or the very Weah himself felt very insecure that if this guy continues to be there for the next couple of years, probably before the elections, he will gain more political relevance. He will overpass his popularity. He could become bone of contention. He could be saying, that someone who will be contestant, and he could diminish the political popularity of the president. I think seditions, and from all what we are hearing, for some of those insistent, that was it. And other people were telling them this was not the right thing to do, because they start arguing that Kofa was hanging up with the president, that might so he was giving everything, but that wasn't the case, except they were looking at one side of the world and feel ignorant every other aspect holistically to see what the kind of game Kofa was playing. They get a saying, and that is Africa is a different place, not like in the West. The president, the executive, has the dominant power over every branch of government, even though our constitution calls for separate functions. In reality, it's written in the laws are there in the book, but in reality, that's not the case. They can do their own broad day, colo, and do it, and nothing will come from out of it. Every administrative functions of the government under the supervisions of the executive, period. And we saw that happening. Some lawmakers were brutalized, they were prevented, a lot of things went on. We saw that, how certain group of people were enjoying the state security, and other people were disadvantaged because of their political stance. So we know all of that. But George Weah did not. He did, and there seems still, for some reason, I don't know, Wetton Keto and other folks call themselves converted Weahians to independence or the sedition. They still don't see it. I'm not sure. I don't know where are all of these people who were hardliners of the CDC. to have the president to still be in such a volatile political situation. Your speaker is being to remove whether he remove or whatever it is, and that you're not, for example, flying to meet with people in the West and talking to people and all of that, and your, I know the difference or whatever dance, that's just been very unserious. You're not willing to learn from your mistakes. When you should be holding consultation, you were out of the country. This whole thing was at the boiling point. And a smart leader, whatever trip that you were on, that trip was being boycotted. And like, wait a minute, something unusual, something unprecedented is happening. This guy is a number third person. And for those who don't know, we know the crucial role of Councillor Fanatic Kofa played in elections. We're told that Kofa and others, and he was one of the principal chief architects that drafted the speech, the concession speech of George Weah, which other people talk bitterly that they would vehemently disagree, that they say that he was the guy who misled Weah because people wanted to kind of thwart the election. Kofa came here and Madam the First Lady, they stood their ground and said, no, you still have the age in your favor. You still have many years to go. Quote unquote, the inside of seditions were vehemently disagree. They wanted a way out. But I think Kofa gave a very wise advice. That was misunderstood. It was misinterpreted. The perception, perceived, or what was perceived by the ordinary seditions, they see it as a betrayal. He's not one of them. He's not he's not one of the original. So perhaps that could possibly be one of the reasons. And we heard a lot of people that was also in the yard that were fighting this whole thing to make sure Kofa is out. I'm not sure to what extent was the gravity, to what extent they were taking this. I don't know, they thought it was like a play thing. But here we are. Now they're crying all over the place like a little chihuahua. This happening, government go, yes. That's what happens when you have it in your column and you fail to protect, to defend it, to hold it with care, to address situation. You know, when power goes out of you in Africa, hell breaks loose. You can talk, you can cry. The police chief there tonight, he or she is taking instruction. So you, whether you were a former minister before, when the GOL, when government say bring this person, they're coming for you. But it is very much strange to see the lack of political tolerance and the former president to see his engagement. For me, it's weird. I don't see them they're not serious. You're not showing that sort of resolve to the Liberian people that even if you say you still want to be president, for you to be behaving like that, you do not even empathize with the situation, to even acknowledge some of the bad policies on your watch that led you into this, and you're still having fun time and you're just waiting to it. I don't know whether we even have a real opposition. These are all socialist organizations that do not have a vision. I remember, like most of these other different opposition political parties, other countries, they can have an envoy. It can be at the EU, United Nations. They just have a thing because they are there as a lobbyist, where if anything's going on, they know who to meet at the highest level. Our people, nothing. They don't. It's because they fail to put in place institutions that will survive. So political parties structures just center around an individual, which is a complete disaster, because what that does, it killed the process, the actual things that they should be doing as an institution. So everything, the spotlight is on the leader. So if the leader began to fade away, then everything goes down the hill. And that's exactly what we're seeing happening. We're waiting to see what's going to happen. We're going to take a break, and I will be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers. 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer.
They wanna can play, we will be there. Helping the ball, we will teach them. We coming for say like that, to see a block, try on their way,
All right, what a beautiful, let me break you my man, Terry Collins is a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio, and LPR TV is based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Terry, it's jealous, I'm going to come today. I'm not like a liberal who migrated to Lofa now because his guy that he supports from Lofa, so they want to be over the border, but I still remain as grand leader. Your content I play, my man?
Yeah, Maryland. I know I have a Maryland, yo.
You see that? I mean, it not be there. you
I know Maryland, the content media, yo.
We counted Fatu from Fatu. I came out. I took the key from Fatu. Your counting I play, or you order your way Lofa.
What Fatu? And Fatu that Gioge? I don't know.
That my last name. I didn't say that one. No, me. I just asking. I know maybe from Boyka County. I don't know whether they're Boyka County. Maybe.
She's from Lofa. I think she's from Lofa.
Yeah, she in the labor there. Okay, Mr. Collins, good evening. To have you here.
She's the sheriff named Amadingo.
Okay, so whatever it is. Yeah, you always soon get in.
But she has joined the Independent Voices.
Oh yeah, she joined it. So she from Grand Gila. I was from Grand Gila. She broke ring.
Oh, somebody say Maryland Tower with bombing.
Maryland Tower with bombing. Oh, wow, you from Maryland? Marylander?
Yeah, from Maryland. I'm a Southeastern, Mr. So.
No, you're not correct. So go to Lofa. You and you're not from. We're not one year. We will stay there. You're not from Southeastern. You're the fake Southeastern. You're going to Boyka County.
You're not real Southeastern.
Yeah, not real Southeastern. The Liberal Party, he can't carry you. Just stay here. Why? Because Grand Gila beat today. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we beat Grand Gila today. We be fanatical for today.
Wow.
he suffers a devil wife. Okay. Mr. Collins, good Sunday. Good to have you here. Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing, sir?
Great. Good to have you. Thank all of you guys for the commitment to this network. I know it's a sacrifice, it's a time. But look, I never had a chance to talk about this scholarship. I wanted somebody, I don't want to kind of like give a run through without people on the other side to give their voice to it. The Liberal is doing everything to avoid this conversation here. He told me behind the scene, and he's not interested in it. He never talked about it, and he hopes not to talk about it. But look, what do you think? Because this seems to be, we heard about the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, scholarship scam, where blah, 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 where the woman came up, mounted a podium, and we saw what happens, what an investigation went on, not, we don't know. Here we are again, the office of the First Lady of the Republic of Liberia. Does it sound right with what's going on, or they need to double up?
Yeah, I think the president should have taken a decision, and I think Sisi will be the best person to chime in on this one. But like we said before, the president should have fired, or the woman herself should have resigned to save the president the embarrassment. Or what her name, Yanti, Sarah Beslow Yanti. If it was in a decent country, she would have resigned. Like what happened in the US when these kind of things go wrong, somebody take the fall for it. You don't blame the president directly. The people that directly were involved or that are over those kind of that take responsibility to bring in these things, they are the one who take the fall for it, and they resign their positions.
So
but for love of the country.
But why the president, why he didn't do his own due diligence as well? He was in the forefront. I believe he was tall, he was brave. He has his folks, he get a legal counsel, he gets all different advisors. Those are people should review before even the president come for to make such a proclamation to the country. So why would it be the president, or even why the way they asked, was reported asked transport minister to resign, why the president didn't ask her to resign as well? Why would want to shift? Why want to shift the gear here, Terry? Why would you want to do that? Today is Sunday.
Because everybody in government responsibility. Everybody in government. Oh God.
Yeah, because you want to start talking Tabata now, so the internet is not even happy with you. You want to go off and come back, or are you?
Yeah. Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah, I see you, but I cannot. Like,
you hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah. So, everybody in government have the responsibility. They have the role. I should go off and come back in, eh?
Let's see what I can. Yeah, let me pull you off and see what I. Yeah, go off. Just go off and come back and see what the audio will be. Let's try that. Okay, yeah, you see, God doesn't like bad. This guy was coming up with a bunch of excuses, tabata, and so that's another way to pour heart to something. Everybody get in place. Go back here. Let me hear him saying what he wants to say. Okay, Mr. Collins, are you there?
I'm there. You getting me?
Loud and clear. Okay, let's go ahead. I hear you moving the goalposts. Why are you carrying it to Maryland?
Well, Marylanders don't like goalpost business. They are fisheries. They do fishing and all the kind of thing. They're not good at playing football. But yeah, Mr. Soul, let it in
those days, man. Robert Clark, those are Marylanders. They are top striker. What are you talking about?
But we don't come on top of the soccer something in Liberia. We are more industrialized, intellectuals, and all of that. You know, Marylanders, they don't involve too much with soccer business.
going boyo, that boyo where the that will attire not the going boyo where.
We believe in president work. We take charge of the country. Those are the kind of BB thing we can do.
Okay, talk to me here. Because you're trying to move the goalposts here, and this is why you guys are here. Because you're saying here now what you want to say. You removing the president from in the picture and leaving and casting this whole thing on serious Nyanti.
Well, I don't want to just cast everything on her per se, but I want to believe the person who brought in that scholarship should have resigned their position ever since to save the government and the president, the disgrace, the shame, and the embarrassment. And that is what a patriotic Liberian would have done, to resign their position. But unfortunately, in Liberia, nobody easily resigns unless sanction come on them from international community or so. Because like people say, the president, what I would do if I would blame the president that he did not take action. Like, for example, what you said, right? If somebody come to the president and tell the president, says this is a good deal, the president is not going to evaluate much, because the president knows very well that that person supposed to be well informed in doing the job. All right. So, even in the United States here, in the United States of America here, when things go wrong, people resign their position. They don't blame the president for like, for example, what happened to the Capitol. Let me just divert. What happened to the Capitol? I think the chief that are responsible for the Capitol building in America here, the chief resigned. He didn't blame the president then that, oh yeah, the chief resigned. That is what people do in a society that is structured on the basis of principles and values. If I am the one in this position and I bring in a scholarship or a program that did not succeed to an extent that I drag my president to the disgraceful platform, it is only important that I resign. Jaha Amin would resign when I cast Kendall Kimmel. That is what patriotic Liberians do. They resign their position. You don't blame the president for that.
I'm not sure what are all of these things that were happening in the past. We just dash it on those people, or we were having out of the kitchen sink on the former president. But let me bring in Wharton Kelter. Kelter, good evening. Good to have you here. Happy Sunday, my brother. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. So, and I would like to say hi to Terry, hi to you guys, hi to the listener and the viewers. It's a wonderful day to be here. Good Sunday. Everything is going fine so far, except for our country with the ups and downs that we are about to discuss here.
Okay, what are the ups and downs in the country?
Well, I heard you talking about what is unfolding, the SONA, the president's supposed to give, I think on the 27th, we have 2 speakers in the House, what they're going to be doing, what the government is. We got talking about scholarship, skiing scholarship that Joseph Boyka, the president, announced to the nation. People pay the money, and it was all a big scam. Now we hear the First Lady office is involved in scholarship scam too. So it's just a whole bunch of stuff that's happening. And also you see the mysterious disappearing and death of people in the country is alarming, and it's called for us to raise the alarm and see what's going on. The court order the body, the life body of certain people that was held in police custody to appear in court. Up to now, the government cannot provide those people that were arrested. So it's just a whole, issues of problems going on in the country. And we got to talk about it. I mean, because we remain silent. They came, remember they saying they came for this group and the other group was silent. They came for that group, the other group was silent. Now they came for the real group. And who next? They are coming for people that they assume They are critical voices, people that spoke their mind. They're arresting them. So what's going to happen to the media now? They full vested. You guys are vocal. You guys see it as it is. Are they going to shut you guys down? Are they going to be hunting if you go to Liberia? What happened to the people that are in Liberia that have been critical of this government in the media space? Are they going to hunt them? Because if they are bold to start arresting people from lawmaker offices in the name of burning down the capital, who else they can go against?
No, but in the interest of fairness, before Terry can respond, I think police calling in people for maybe it's a sort of normal routine as to whether they are doing it following the normal routine, or is it sort of just crackdowns on oppositions? Then that's a different thing. Calling people, I want to talk to them. They can talk to them, but
Well, if
it
the
must just
police,
be transparent. It should just be transparent and open. But
if
what
the
I'm
police,
just troubled about, in as much, and I'll give you the chance, what I'm troubled about, in as much the police calling people, but we yet to even hear from the police, the security apparatus that were in custody of the facility in questions, that is the capital, and they said the place was sealed up. I believe it was a complete presence of security apparatus. I'm not sure whether Terry want to speak to that, or you ever even want to speak to that. There was a command assigned. We know that sometimes there can be an inner workout for people to infiltrate the system to connive to get something done. I've never heard from this police chief as to whether any of the officers assigned at the Capitol that morning have ever been calling for investigations. The commanders, what went wrong, how that building was infiltrated, where they enter, who are those who facilitated. That has not happened. We haven't even heard. Sometimes you want to do things, you know, do it in the way, even if they don't do it, but they don't know how to do it. And they think broad daylight, they're going to put fingers in our eyes and we're just going to allow it to just bust our eye like that. No, that's not going to happen. If you can call people, other people that allegedly maybe were there and they used to be going there, you can call them. Why you can even question to your own assigned, some of your own assigned officer. The building is a huge building. Well, they are the back, from the front, from the side. So how was the security group rationed around to make sure that building was secure? Because that's one of the primary reasons, and that nobody has been calling. But you know what? So Terry is texting with the liberal here. Let's do in a favor. And your point, and I will have him to explain on this one.
so Mr. To your point of the police arresting, the police has the right to call people in for questioning, even to detain them for like 24 hours. And after that, if they find anything on those people that investigate, they can forward them to court. Those people that were arrested, their lawyers came and went to the court. They were not charged. They were not accused of anything. And the court asked the police, the government, the justice ministry, and the police to bring those people living body to the court or to give them to the lawyer. It has been almost a week. The government has failed to do that. And what we are hearing, that those people were taken from the police custody to the NSA custody. Now, if you look at the NSA is not in the business of arresting people and keeping them in detention. The NSA is an entity that is responsible for gathering information on espionage and other government things to be able to protect the nation as far as terrorists and all the other different stuff. National security agency, that's what the responsibility. The police is the one that does the arrests, and the police turn people over to the court after the preliminary investigation or the whole nine. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, our country is going into a police state. Our country is going to a state of lawlessness where people are taken from in prison on a court detention, on a court law. They are taken out of prison and they are sent to a foreign country to a military junta that today we can't even
Okay.
hear from those people. So I mean, it's just a whole bunch of things that we need to discuss because they started with this Guinean Liberian national that was illegally extradited from Liberia to Guinea. Now they're taking people from in police custody and turning it over to the NSA, even to the disrespect of the court of Liberia, asking the police to turn the people over to their legal counsel. The police and the government is yet to release those people to the council. So it's
Okay, so let
concerning.
me bring in Terry here, so he confused like Terry. Your microphone is muted.
Yeah. So
Keto, does he have a point?
I believe, well, Keto got his own late point that he making from Spoon TV. I don't want to dwell on that because everything Keto say, he ain't got no facts to prove it. They are gossip. You go to listen to Spoon, they say, oh yeah, the NSA carry somebody, the court say they might bring the person. Have you seen any court release from the court stating what he's claiming on Spoon that is happening? Have you seen that? So you want us to consider FPR tonight to discuss gossip? It's not factual. Until I can see a real evidence to discuss the issue, I'm not going to go into that. It is the responsibility of the National Security Agency to collect information, analyze, and sharing national security information with decision maker and president. One of the job also is to counter terrorism. All right, provide foreign intelligence. So monitoring and processing information and data for Liberian Communication Network Information System. So the NSA is the National Security Agency that is responsible to do all this. If they consider the fire at the building was a terroristic act, it is the NSA can come in to investigate because it is their responsibility to corroborate information to save lives and property for the state. So if people are saying, oh, the people collect, people did that, all the kind of thing, let's wait and see what the government position will be. If somebody were arrested, the RG will come up in soon time to tell us, say, oh yeah, this person was arrested and they were released, or they are state witness, and we're preparing them for to witness on the case. But until then, all remains speculation until we can get facts to prove. I don't want to go into that kind of discussion. The aspect of the investigation ongoing will draw attention. The RG have already stated that they have people of interest, and he did not use the word suspect yet. So I would like to wait to see what will come out of it in the final end.
Keto, you want to respond to him?
Well, I don't blame my brother if he tried to even put a spin on anything around here. It is glaring. The news. We all don't live in Liberia. We get news from our sources back home. We get news from the media, whether we get it from Spoon, whether it's LPR, whether it's or Front Page Africa. We get our news from back home. So I see my brother Terry playing like he's sitting at Rangers up
But provide the evidence. Show of facts. That
Do
all
you
I
have
ask.
evidence of all the things you said on this platform about President Weah or even people in this government? Do you have evidence? Your
Name one of them.
Your information you provided on this platform were based on sources or information you gather from Liberia. So I'm telling you, this is not strange to the media space in Liberia. People were picked up from the streets. People were picked up from Vamuma Hall, different places. They were arrested by the police. They were in police detention. And as I speak to you, those people were taken out of police detention. This is the reason why when the lawyer went to the court and the court ordered the living body of those people, the government through the justice ministry and the police refused because those people are not in their custody anymore. We don't know where the people are, whether they are alive or dead, but they cannot provide those people. And you come in and tell me, man, I got information from this place. Look, let me
So
tell you
say
something.
who?
The souls or whatever is not important. The
So
information is
say
important. Terry, you come on this platform with your information. Your information you give on this platform is from external sources. Nobody question your information. We just want to validate. If you want validation, well, go to Front Page Africa. It's on Front Page Africa page. One of the newspaper carried that caption. It was even said that there was a guy from even Fanatico for house. TV guys were arrested. That was security or whatever. And one of the guys used to go to Fanatico for office to open his office early in the morning. He was picked up by police too. Yeah, but the stories are there. It's not, and they say the Front Page Africa newspaper. You want to tell me Front Page Africa newspaper has become in Joseph Boakai administration a fake newspaper now? You believe in the newspaper when person that we are in office? You believe it. When it came with a story, with it. So it's important that we speak these things. We cannot be silent because today it is in our favor. They're
Okay.
coming for these people. One day they will come for you. The day you decide to be vocal against this government, they will come for you.
All right. Welcome in the house of LPR is our analyst. J. Victor Namwe is joining us. Mr. Namwe, it's a good evening. Happy Sunday. Terry here is his guy. Labor is he and Labor sharing notes here. I try to do whatever they can do. They're very good at that, which is okay.
the
Good evening. Happy
celebrity,
Sunday.
he's not.
Good evening, Theo, Mr. Theo. Good evening, Mr. Collins, and of course, Mr. Keta. It's great to be with you. Good evening to the audience as well. It is an Eagles victory Sunday, and so I'm gonna
Oh,
revel. I'm gonna revel in it and enjoy it for how long it lasts. At least we've advanced to the second round of the playoffs. But I was coming in and listening, and my fellow Marylander who is rooting for Maryland County just as I am. I'm rooting for two teams. I'm rooting for Maryland and I'm rooting for Nimba because my wife is from Nimba. But I couldn't help but to feel sorry for my friend Terry. I hear him twisting himself into pretzels, trying to deny Witherspoon, who practically runs the executive mansion. I mean, today, he is not to be believed, but I don't believe Mr. Keto was only quoting Spoon TV. This is in the print media. I read that on the 13th, which I think is tomorrow, they're supposed to, the government is supposed to be going to court in response to this writ of habeas corpus that has been filed by Mr. Thomas Edridge's lawyer. That's his name, Thomas Edridge. This is a gentleman who it has been reported has been detained since December 18th. This is extrajudicial detention. This is arbitrary arrest. The law provides that you hold the man for not more than 48 hours. Today is the 12th of January. It's almost 14 days since the gentleman, was taken in. So this is not just coming from Spoon TV; it's all in the press. The IG came on and said that the investigation had already been concluded. They determined it was arson, but he doesn't have any suspects. All he has, are people of interest, and they're treating these people of interest as suspect. You remember in the early days, person of interest in the person of Representative Foco. I think there were 2 truckloads of people who wanted to pick this gentleman up. So it's really concerning the way this investigation, this fire investigation is proceeding. It appears that the IG has his job cut out for him. He has to produce a conclusion to this investigation that will fit the president's pronouncement that this fire was caused by hooligans, and he has to make that pronouncement come true. I think that's therein lies his problem. The investigation is not producing the president's pronouncement, and so we'll see. They go to court tomorrow. They have to present to the court, first of all, why this gentleman is being held. and then answer for his rights being violated. So we'll be tomorrow. When we'll come back here, I would like to hear what Pastor Collins is going to tell us. A man of the cloth does not defend anything that is wrong. So I'm sure, as a man of the cloth, he will come back here tomorrow and eat his words. So I look forward to seeing that tomorrow.
Terry.
Well, I don't really believe everything the newspaper has to offer, in as much as myself been seeing flying information around the place about, somebody being arrested and detained. I believe once I hear officially from the government position, then I will be able to make conclusion, or I will come up with my analysis on the issue. With what Keta is saying, that you talking, all the things you present here is not factual. Anytime I'm discussing here, we're discussing on the foundation of things that were already previously discussed. And we show you quotations of the exact words of people speaking. And also, if I even go into Front Page Argus magazine or Front Page to reflect an issue, I will always read the exact quotation of the statement. And most of the time, go back to the video and check, because I don't believe everything the newspaper present, because most of the time the newspaper is looking for money. So obviously, like for example, the issue with the Daily Observer stating that Prince Moyi and Wahine, the guy from the senator from Bum County, and the accusations about the vice president being involved in the killing of somebody, the news is simultaneously dying down. Why? Because up to now, they have yet to present the living evidence of the accusations in which they present in the newspaper. So that gave me I have a head on my head that is big enough to think for myself and make my own judgment based on the facts. So if you know, Keto, that I said some things here with all facts, you can highlight them. You understand? But what I'm saying here is this, right? The IG, the last time I checked, spoke from the place of the investigation. It is obvious that we just have to wait and don't be anxious. You can speculate, which is your right. I don't expect the opposition political party to say otherwise, because Liberia, the psyche of Liberians are positioned in a way that once people talk, once they're in opposition, they do not support the ruling establishment on anything that the ruling establishment does that is successful. I'm not against Spoon TV, but I believe that lately Spoon have been playing the propaganda card, which is fine, because
propaganda
for who? He playing the propaganda card for CDC to brand himself. The man is branding himself in the political landscape of Liberia, which he have the right to do. That is his right.
Terry, then I gotta ask you this: Mo Ali goes there every day. Is he also part of the opposition?
No, Mo Ali don't go there every day. Mo Ali been going there in recent time to speak against the misinformation that have been coming from the network.
I don't see him disagreeing with Witherspoon, but Glendon is there. Jackie is there. They all go there to speak for the government. Are they opposition?
But Glendon is not a UPIS. Jackie is not a UPIS.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about a supporter of the government. Glendon has made it crystal clear she's not a UP person, but she supports the government, the president.
But Mr. Victor, another thing, Mo Ali, you mentioned Mo Ali. Carry one minute. He mentioned Mo Ali. Carry 1 minute. He mentioned Mo Ali. Mo Ali also, he also agreed with Stanton that what took place in the First Lady office, the scam scholarship that took place in the First Lady office, the person who wrote the book, it was a shame. It's a disgrace. People trying to bring to the First Lady in the shoot. So he agreed with Stanton that it's people are going around collecting scholarship, and the president going announcing it and all that. He agreed with him. So
Mo Ali said if it happened.
So he didn't say if. He didn't say
he said if.
Anyway, I'm not going to spin.
Listen to the man. The man said if it happened, it have not been established that it happened yet. It have to be established by a competent court of jurisdiction.
Based on
Until then, it remains
but
a
Eric,
speculation.
if you listen to the
Accusation.
Okay, let's do this for the good of the audience. The liberal, good evening, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So. I've been listening to your Tabata all evening, and I thought I'd try to join the Tabata. I'm the expert on Tabata. I must welcome and join you because you and your whoever independent group you have, apparently you guys have nothing to talk about tonight. There are issues that are happening all over. California is on fire, and you're going to come here and talk about all the Tabata scholarship and what have you. Are those serious conversations? Serious conversation we're going to have looking at that lady to be part of the scam to take money from children? Is that what you guys want us to believe? Unbelievable. Unacceptable. Not while I'm here. And that's what I thought I'd come here and try to educate you guys on this. I said educate. I'm not coming here to provide information just to satisfy you. I'm here to educate you and your group to tell you that this lady, with her character that we know, she is incapable of taking money from children who want to educate themselves. So if that young man is someone who has done something in the office and she's saying to herself that I'm looking into it, you just want her to come without any kinds of good report, just go ahead and fire the young man? Is that what you guys want us to do? No, she's not going to do that because she's a mother. Mr. So, I'm here as a counterweight. I'm listening. You're come back again with your tabata. I'm here.
Can I come in, please?
No, you can't come in because the moderator has to call you in.
Let me respond to the late.
So what's the problem? Okay, Victor, come in.
Are we calling him labor or lit, bro? I don't even know.
I don't even know. I'm trying to see. I need to find that. I have to find a different name.
I'm late because I want to listen to you guys tabata, and so that I will come in and respond effectively.
All right. So, and I like to
thank you, Libra.
I'll give you your assertion that the first lady may not be aware of this, but you know, you're an engineer, you did a lot of math. They say if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. Is that not true?
Not in this case.
Not in this case. Very well. So this gentleman is on tape confessing to what is being reported. He's not denying it. He's alleging to have briefed the first lady on the surface. I don't know what
surface.
That means.
What does that mean, Victor?
You
as an experienced person, what does that mean?
Wait now. So he briefed the What does that mean? Hopefully you will tell us what it means. But he briefed the first lady on the surface.
You see, I don't mean to interrupt, but this is what you guys do.
Can you give me a chance, please?
No, hold on, Mr.
Hold on.
We're having conversation.
No.
We are having conversation.
Hold on.
You
were talking here. You came here.
We are having conversation.
Listen. You came here this Sunday to completely dilute this conversation. And that's why you came like a wild geese. Nobody interrupted you. Nobody said anything. He just said one thing and it's just.
Well, I'm not responding to him. Why are you stopping me?
Can you wait, please? After he ends the statement, then I'll call you in.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. So, excuse me, late bro. So, if we say that the first lady isn't aware of what would you say would be the first necessary step to be taken if an allegation of this nature breaks out in your office as the first lady? Are you going to conduct an investigation of your own, or you take the call in the police or the CID to come and do an investigation? This is a criminal matter. It's not an office transgression matter. This is a criminal matter which you don't have the training to conduct investigation on. Don't you think you should call in the police or the CID or whatever it is to come and do this investigation? As a matter of fact, we haven't heard anything from the office since this news broke. And you want us to believe that she's unaware of this, and up to now she has not heard about it because nothing has been said from her office. I'll give you the floor to go ahead.
Thank you. This is what you guys do most of the time that surprises me a lot. Many of you highly trained in your area of expertise, highly educated. But when it comes to these elementary analysis of issues, you think of that you seem like you're coming from somewhere between Town and Dweji Town area. You are unable to clearly define and even clearly state exactly what it is that you're looking for. You just want to play politics. And as a result of that, you allow your training, you allow your education to go through the sift as though you're sifting palm butter. And that's not what we do here. Now listen to yourself. You claim me that this is indeed a criminal matter. Who declared that? You or the social media? Has it been declared by the Justice Department? Look, Liberia is not a banana republic.
But how is the Justice Department going to declare a criminal matter?
I didn't say anything.
This guy came here tonight with
Mr. So, you're not going to blame. It's not going to work tonight. So, let me finish my point. Now, you coming here declaring this issue to be a criminal matter. By what jurisdiction? You're in New Jersey? That in New Jersey you were called criminal issue in Liberia? That is why you come here, you come to the alderman sit down there in Connecticut where all the submarine running up and down. That he will come here, come sit down here and talk about Liberia issue, and that why you want us to give you some credibility as though you're some kind of an expert on Liberia issue? Please, let me give you this. Yes, indeed. There was some misstep with the scholarship. We all frown on it.
What were the misstep, please?
Mr. So the guy took money.
Who got?
The guy working with, I don't know his name, working in the vice president office as somebody who went in there, according to story, to set up the vice president office.
Oh, vice president, first lady.
First lady. Hold on, first lady. So the point here, I'm not going to go through all the other stuff.
But we hired him.
Okay, I'm not here on the witness stand, and you guys are not the prosecutor to be asking me question on a ground, low bar question and things like that. I'm not going to accept that.
Mr. So, Mr. Toll has spoken a lot.
So now you see,
isn't extortion a crime under the law?
You see that now? You see that now?
Let him finish his
You come and show yourself again to that. You come and show your true sedition, terror-massing sedition color again tonight. We know that. But let me just say this. On a serious note, Victor, you're claiming that there's a criminal matter. Who judged that? Who made that decision? None. We know that there's an issue. How do you know that the first lady have not initiated any kinds of please? How do you know that the first lady has not initiated any kinds of criminal whatever it is? Jesus. I'm not from Grand Gita. I told you already I'm from Lower Country. So let me say this. Let's give these people, you see, this is what you do. As educated as you are. Any other matter, you will say, let's give them some difference. Let's give them little latitude. You will say, you will claim that these people have the ability to work hard. Let's give them latitude. And in fact, you will say, let's give them long rope, Liberian word. But in this case, you're not even willing to give them rat tail, let alone give them rope. You stop those kinds of stuff, man.
All right. Thank you. Look, this is just so sad.
It is really sad. It is sad.
I can't imagine this guy coming on this network to defend this set of stuff. I mean, it's a clear indication we get a very, very long way to go. And he's not even acknowledging this fellow is a senior staff in the office of the first lady. If you were told how many months today, and that he said he briefed the first lady, okay, whether on the surface, on the surface, on top of the surface, what it is. When you brief people, you are sharing some sort of sensitive information with them. So the first lady officer has not denied as to this guy claimed that he briefed the first lady. We yet to know from the office of the First Lady what was the First Lady's response when she was briefed about this thing. And one could make a good and far educated guess. If you were briefed, like in the case today, let's do the case study. I briefed
Victor,
you
you can drink all the water you want to drink. They will not make you foreign minister in Liberia. Because little Michael used to drink so much water, now you're going to be foreign minister of the United States.
Well,
so you can drink all the water. You can drink all the water you want. They will not make you foreign minister in Liberia.
Can you leave me alone? I'm making my point, please.
Everybody know that water in my bottom is also at least.
Yeah, I know.
I just want to be, Mr. Namwe, I just want to be illustrative. And I'm going, hello?
Go ahead.
I want to be very illustrative here, and I'm going to see where your honesty as a person on this network today. Today, I call you and brief you on something. And after briefing you, what was your response?
But you know
that one, you ain't got to say anything. You think I come to can't tell you where you must say this? Those are
that locker room
issue. You think I come to can't tell you here? Mr. Stone, ask another question.
Oh God, Mr. Toda,
I'm listening. Are you answering or not?
Mr. So, you and I will only discuss business, nothing else. So business is business. So what do you want?
So you agree with the business or not?
Mr. So, I am not, this is not the place, not the time to discuss business.
I don't know. This Keton?
You're to your own.
Well, Mr. So, I'm not surprised. Like I said, when people are guilty, when people, come and tell the Liberian people that they have a man who has the experience, who on the first day he will deliver. When people put their character, their integrity on the line for an individual they know nothing of, and the individual by hope and crook came to power.
Watch your language.
Hope and language.
Nobody stole the election.
Nobody
stole the election.
Independent
the election, independent. Termasing sedition. The election was won fairly. No, but you can't come here and use the word and you're not even protecting the conversation. Where is the crook? Where is the crook that the election was won? And you're going to sit here and you're not even going to protect that.
Well, he has his own definition.
No, that kind of definition. That's why I want you to. That's why I can't say. Yeah, he has the right. But Mr. So you have the right. Yeah, but you got to be fair to this conversation.
What he says, please.
Okay, all right.
Like I said, a president that came to power by hope and crook, because the liberal was here promoting a man that he knows nothing of, telling the Liberian people in the world that this man has integrity, that this man has experience. He was the only experienced politician in the race, that this man could rescue Liberia out of the mess, according to him, President Weah put us in. That this man could do everything to redeem the Liberian people. For the Liberal to sit on this platform almost a year into this administration and see the gross failure, the ineptitude of this president, he has no face to come and say, I was wrong, my Liberian people, I'm sorry. So he come here and throwing tabata all over the place, disrupting the show and not saying nothing concrete. Here's the truth of the matter. President Bouakai is doing nothing for the Liberian people. From the day President Bouakai got inaugurated, in fact, from the day he got elected, he started being corrupt by allowing his deputy to call NASCA and order them to give over $500,000 to buy cars, whereas he was not even the legitimate president of the Republic of Liberia. We saw fake buses go into Liberia with a picture on it. They made him stand before the buses and take picture to influence the Liberian people. Those were all failures. We saw this president come to the Senate and wrote a big letter to the Senate and told the people that his friend that saw his vision was giving him earth moving equipment. That is another scam. This president was brave enough to go on national radio and international wire to tell the world that Liberia has secured a $25 million to send 250 students to school, only to come back and say it was a scam. Now we see it in the first lady office. What is going on with this government? Is it not time for the liberal, progressive, wannabe celebrity to come on this show and say, look, my Liberian people, I'm sorry for what is unfolding in the country. We misled y'all. For Terry, the pastor, wannabe politician, to come and say, hey, my people, I'm sorry. I want to redeem myself. I'm a man of God. I preach the gospel every Sunday. We fool you, we lie to you about this leadership. This man has no experience. It is about time that the security expert wannabe politician, Mr. Jerry Bacon, to come on his platform and apologize to Liberian people. It's about time that the mathematician wannabe politician, advocate, and all that, to come on his show and tell the people, say, when he said Jesus wept, there were other scriptures that were behind that before Jesus wept. He's going to come on this show and tell Liberian people, sorry. All right? Because we have seen, and this is a pattern. Month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4.
How many minutes he's going to use now?
What?
How many minutes you're going to use here on the platform?
Yeah, we go.
You are not a moderator. That is within my purview to determine.
By the time you finish drinking that bottle of water, the milk, all the time will be gone.
So this is where we are today, Mr. Toll. Have the courage. Get the courage. You know, say to yourself, Liberia is bigger than this president. This man, for the next 5 years, if we're not careful, that country will be worse than prior to our civil war.
All right, let me bring in Terry into this first, because we'll have a conversation he's been listening to. Terry, I think that's the second segment, so we're not going to be here that long tonight. But let me hear you.
We're not the water club tonight between three of you. The liberal making you drink a lot of water tonight, huh? Okay.
We are not deterred to be lashed at for doing the right thing, especially looking at President Weah leadership and the disgrace that we had for the past 6 years that Keto refused to acknowledge. He and his guys, they refused to acknowledge, and that he calls our president inept and failed to call his president inept, knowing very well there was a lot of ineptitudes done that uncountable under the 6-year leadership.
Okay, so
now these are the people that is
Colin. Let me see. I want to hear from Terry. Not Terry. Keta.
Yes.
As President Weah inept?
President Weah had a lot of missteps. President
Weah.
No, Keta. Address the question directly.
I come in.
He called it misstep.
President
when
Weah,
it comes to Baga, that's
hold on. Let me chance, bro. I'm an independent.
This is who they are, Terry. What do you expect? You expect an honest answer from a citizen?
It's an honest answer I'm giving you.
Do you expect an honest answer from
it is an
honest answer. Let me ask you again. Probably you didn't hear the questions. Terry was very specific in calling you out.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that we are on the same page. I'm asking, was President George Weah inept as well?
So as a sound individual, I will answer your question accordingly. Like I said, President Weah administration, in fact, President Weah was not or is not a politician as branded or put together by the liberal and the left.
He's taking the water that role now.
Waka is a seasoned politician for over 40 years, who's supposed to come and cook this. I come in, Mr. So, who was supposed to come and cook this food that will be so palatable for Liberian people to dish up. President, we are came from the soccer pitch as a soccer genius, right?
So why you can't in the kitchen for that? If you can't cook, why you can't in the kitchen for?
Mr. When the independent is speaking, Mr.
So, okay, let's push your pants on this thing here. I heard all of your explanations, the ingredients, and everything here. So, my understanding is equivalent as being EF. Do you agree with me as well, with President Weah?
Well, I will not use the word in F of President Weah. I would say he had missed it. Become Mr. President Weah.
There is massive sedition. I told you. What do you expect?
When I was a Weah-shin, I didn't come on platform to sing praises when he was not even in power. We didn't come. I didn't come there. We didn't come out to praise him and say he was this man that has all the experience. We didn't do that.
So
these people, I come in now, Mr. Cho, these people, the likes of the laborer, the reverend, the mathematician, the engineer, and whoever they are, said to us, Mr. Bwaka was the most qualified, the most experienced. He had all that it takes to transform this nation. And this is what we see. So I call it ineptitude. If I'm wrong, Mr. Victor can correct me.
I want to call back. I want to go back to Terry quickly. We talked about the Iboma. We talk about the Elton. We talk about Gifty Laman, the remarks of the president, boyfriend, girlfriend, and all of those things. Then, is it because he came from the football field, so he was ignorant and making those sort of remarks? Is it not being inept as well?
So, for somebody who is not politically savage, according to what I know, I think they will make error. But for a man who has been sold to us as the most experienced, that have over 40 some years of experience politically under his sleeves, for him to come and make these statements, I call it ineptitude. Mr. To, I cannot bring a biologist and say he's an engineer, even though a biologist want to stand and I can't do that. I can bring a politician who says he's a politician, and when he doesn't do the thing that's a politician, I will call it for what it is.
All right, let me bring in Terry to end his point. Terry, I just want to make sure, in the interest of fairness, to ask a question. Go ahead.
That's the hypocrisy we're talking about. You cannot use people who destroy our history to discuss the success of our future. That is what Keter is doing. Keter is telling us that he's willing for the guy who make error. There's a difference between mistake and error. Mistake is not really understanding or like forgetting. I forgot that the red light was on, so I passed through the red light. That is mistake. An error is knowing that the red light is on, but passing through it anyhow. That is an error. So when you say an error, that means he deviated from what he's supposed to have done, knowing that it was right for him to do. Now, you cannot give the country to a president who makes error. You need to give the country to a president who is going to do what is precise for the benefit of her citizens. That is the reason why, based upon the errors that you just alluded to here tonight, that he was in error, which means he was in ineptitude. That means that's the reason why we chose to give the country to an older man who will not, take our time out to go hang out at the stadium and watch his son playing soccer. That is the reason why we give the country to an elder statesman that instead of harmonizing the pays and salaries of those who are, working for government, we're going to be carrying it back to where it was and keep, escalating it. So to give people a perspective that after 6 years from now, you will not be standing up and saying, you will compare the harmonized salary, whether if I want to go back to the harmonized salary or I want to move forward. So even if Joseph Boakai fails, are you understanding me? I would prefer to move forward with another leader that is having a better option than to go back to a harmonized pay. So that is my advocacy. The reason why we chose JMB over President We Are, because these were the two guys in the race that the Liberian people have already concluded that among these two guys, we have to choose one. And looking at the past record of the history, I could not have settled down for President Weah. And you come again with the same thing today or tomorrow. Between the two of them, I will still choose JMB.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Namwe here. We're going to be wrapping up in the next 5-10 minutes here. Mr. Namwe, this is, you listen to the exchange with Keto, the Liberal, everybody pretend to defend their own idea. Was that an honest twistings and reconstructings of what about you listen to Keto? Do you agree with him? Check your microphone.
I'm sorry, I think the Liberal muted me, but it's okay. So, so for full disclosure, I was a national campaign advisor for the CPP. I supported Mr. Alex Cummings, and I come from the UPP. So I didn't support President Weah. I listened to Brother Keto. I think it's fair to say that President Weah did make a lot of mistakes, and there was signs of ineptitude displayed by him. But I don't know which is easier to forgive, right? Someone who unknowingly, commit an error. I don't know if I'm going to go down the road. Terry is going to define the difference between a mistake and an error. I'm not Bill Clinton, who would define is as, in the way he sees it fit. But if we made a lot of mistake because was ineptitude because of ignorance, because he didn't know what to do. What is easier to forget than someone like the current president who is supposed to know what to do? He was vice president for 12 years. He's been in government for over 40 years, and yet he can't seem to find his way. So I don't know which is easier to forgive. This president came in with a lot of promise. Some of it expressly made by himself. No car will be stuck in the mud after 90 days. I don't know where he got that from. For someone with such experience who knows what it means to put your agenda through the legislature and all that it takes and all of that, the time it takes and all of that, and yet he made that rookie mistake. And then ever since then, it's been one mistake after the other. He goes to Lofa and say, for those who want to steal, we encourage you to steal. But, just make sure, you bless somebody. So I'm sitting here and wondering, whether our people did not have a buyer's remorse for the decision that they made. I know the Liberal will come on and call me a 1%er, but yeah, I agree. This current president is also a 1%er. The difference between he and we are is 1.28%. That makes him a 1%er. 20,500 votes. If you take the difference, he is a 1%er as well. So there are a lot of people who are expressing this disappointment. Some of the people are in the market. Some are in the streets. Some of those people are the very Unity Party young people, the youth, have taken upon themselves to make their disappointment known. Mid-December, they were at the Golden Key Hotel. May, when those very young people threatened to block the exit. They managed to sidestep that one. So the one that happened a few days ago, they couldn't stop that one. And I'm convinced there's going to be more of that. Because a lot of people are feeling the frustration, the disappointment. They came to rescue, but they are not in a hurry to rescue.
Those are false alarms, Mr. Victor.
Instead, they jet setting from Lofa County to Monrovia in a private jet, from Monrovia to Accra in a private jet, from Accra to Abuja in a private jet. Everywhere is a private jet. They're buying $96,000 cars. They don't want us to talk about it. When you talk about it, then you're an angry person. He's a sole loser. He's a 1%er. But I have news for them. and I'm leaving the stage. What they're playing with here is the beginning of their undoing. If they don't turn it around, there will be a one-term presidency. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
It's the third term.
So does that answer my question?
And I'm bringing my
third term in power.
Okay. Let's get this number quick. Breakable, very brief. Let's hear you.
Thank you for the show. Listen, Terry, let me tell you something. If you not know, Waka went to a friend house in Ghana for wedding, just for wedding. Go celebrate wedding.
Oh, the guy called. Okay, caller, everybody went out try to march here for you. Okay, caller, are you there?
You don't know American president is
How are you?
Good. Hold on, yes.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. My name is Godwin. Call you from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah, great discussion and good evening to the panelists. It saddens me to know that Mr. Ketter cannot acknowledge that the former president is in F, and calling the current president in F. I know most.
He went off. Everybody going off. I don't know why.
You don't like the response. How why you went off on you? we know that we know you. We got a man was getting ready to take you out to the clinic.
No, I'm calling. I'm not like you. I don't.
With you.
Yeah, sorry. I think you went off.
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Man, your phone go off.
Most physicians will not accept the fact that the former president was in F during his administration. But now Mr. Ketter is referring to the current president as EF. I mean, that's happening a lot. And if you ask many physicians or reactions that they point out one wrong on the past administration, they would dance around the corridor. They cannot leave you one wrong. But now they are seeing so many wrongs in our governance system. I so thank you that the physicians and reactions can now see wrongs in our governance system. But 6 years ago, seditious and reaction could not recognize any wrong in our governance systems. But now they are seeing it. And I mean, what sort of human being are they? That under the past regime of President Weah, of former President Weah, everything was bread butter. Everything was 100% correct. They couldn't recognize no wrong. But now they are seeing wrong. It baffles me. But anyway, how seditious and reaction look. Thanks for taking my call, sir.
Okay, but before you go, Mr. Bado, let me quickly here. Is there any concern you have? Let me first of all ask you have the right to declare if you want to plead the fifth. That's okay. Are you a strong supporter of this current administration?
I'm a supporter of Joseph Boyka.
Do you have any? Yeah, okay.
Not a UP president.
Okay, which is fine. I think you and Liberal in the same column. But is there any concern as far as you are concerned as a Liberian for the good of the country the last couple of months? Where do you think this president needs, or what is your anticipation for the sooner and the later? What do you hope to hear from this president?
Yes, there were some missteps for the past months. I would admit there were some missteps, and I'm hoping that in its coming year there will be corrections in those missteps. And for the SONA, I mean, I'm thinking as to how the SONA will be addressed to the Liberian people or the national legislature. Looking at the impasse at the national legislature that has not been settled yet, going to the fact that I would say that we have 2 speakers for now because Kofa is still there as speaker, as claimed by many, and we have another speaker, Richard Kuhn. So I'm baffled right now to see how the president will address the nation on the first State of the Nation address. I mean, I don't know how it will happen, but we're hoping that things will get in place in a rightful position before the president shows up.
Are you part of the meaning that with Kuhn or Kofa? Where are you in this thing as a Liberian?
As it relates to this, the impact of the legislature, I'm independent on that.
Oh, you with me on that one, right?
I'm independent on that. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for chipping in. Okay. So, okay. All right. Hello, folks. We're not going to be here for long. Who was speaking of that? Mr. Nambwe?
That's the liberal. That's the liberal. I need to respond to these two gentlemen. Mr. So, first of all, let me address Nambwe 1% issue there. In math, the guy what they call slope. I want 1% climbing the hill that positive. You want 1% went downhill that negative. It got minus sign to your 1%. So whatever you add the negative 1% to, it will always go down. So don't even try that. I want 1%. Yeah, I agree. But we're going a plus 1%. Whereas your 1% is negative 1%. Now,
I don't understand the math. Negative and positive. How you come upon with negative and positive?
They have what they call slope.
Is that Prophet Key math we're talking here?
No. You got what they call slope. You have a higher elevation. You have a lower elevation.
Okay.
When you're going uphill, it's a plus. When you're going downhill, it's a minus. So you're on a 1% going downhill is a minus. But anyhow, let me go to Walter Cut on a very serious note. When I come on here, Terry, and I want you to listen to me, please, because I know many times here I say that, and people will say, well, why you want to hold him, let him speak his mind? When you come on this platform, you are an educated person that we all know you to be. And when I ask you to use a word that would mean the same thing, but in a different connotation, you say there's no other word. Tonight you display, and one day, I think Princeton is in New Jersey, right? And then the Connecticut has some kind of Ivy League school over there. And I think you
Yale University.
Okay, Yale is in Connecticut. I think you probably went to Yale because you are displaying a high level of educational status here tonight that I'm proud of. And I'm also proud of you showing us that you indeed can do the English language dancing, the rumba, because you are dancing all over the place. And that's why when you come out here, I want you to use that same ability that you have to address the president. On one hand, you said, "I'm president, our president, the father of the nation is inept." But President, we are there, you said that mistake, simple mistake. That the same simple mistake he dancing with. You see that? What Mr. So is not saying, Mr. So, and now I'm going to go into our conversation a little bit. I told you today, no, I will not go into that. But let me just say this.
Wait. So mistake, but 1% and not 1%.
No, you're 1% and negative 1%. I don't know why I would say that again. I just told you you're on a slope. You're going downhill, we're going uphill. So okay. I want 1% and plus. But let me say this. Walter Carter, what you and your group, specifically CDC lover, what you need to do is to tell the president, because he's dancing his way out of leadership. Unity Party, because of the dancing president we are continuing to display, Unity Party can make all the mistake in the world. President, we are dancing simple mistake like that. They will not let you come back close to anything to power. What you all need to do, instead of you coming here and doing the presso and things like that, what you all need to do is to tell the president to dress, because he's a good dresser. That will give him. Dress properly and start visiting the offices. Any office that is occupied by CDC, sedition lawmaker, you go visit them. When you go to the Capitol building, that whole place will be shut down. Anywhere in Liberia, the president we are go, the entire community will be shut down. That's how popular he is. He must be able to harness his popularity now. Start from now. Not dancing. You can't do this to us, Mr. So. The liberal is on. The liberal is on. Please. You allow these people, the -1% and the terror massive sedition.
Okay,
you allow them.
Time is out. We'll come back to you in your closing statement, please. Time is out. Let me just take this one call, and then you guys are going to be making a closing statement. So can't jump into a fire. Aaron, let's hear you.
It's Elvis.
Oh, Elvis. Sorry, Elvis. Let's go. Yeah, Aaron called for the line call. Okay, let's hear you, Elvis. Good evening.
All right, thank you, and hello to the panelists. Look, I had a call to give my brother Keto props tonight because I think he made a good showing of himself. So I had to give him some kudos. You know, I think he held Terry foot to the fire. When Terry on the show trying to discredit the network that was like gospel to him. Everything Spoon said, you know, I was watching Spoon today. Spoon says so and so. You'll come and bring on LPR, you know, to regurgitate whatever he ingested from Spoon. So I just like the fact that you're calling him out his hypocrisy, and you really stick it to him. You ain't got no rebuttal. So good job tonight, Keto. You done made the show tonight. I can't call to give you your props. Thank you for taking my call, Professor.
Thank you, Elvis.
This sedition, they got no sheep. They got no sheep.
Yeah. Okay, that's why I'm going to call for. Let's go out of time.
Oh my goodness.
Your point quickly.
Yeah, I just wanted to just buttress where what Elvis was just saying to Terry. Okay. You know, Terry religiously sat on this platform and used to reference Spoon Network every night. But the only thing I would say to Terry, you know, he's a religious man, but now he's becoming dishonest, just like his uncle, Mr. Toad. And Terry, you think that stop doing that. Because if you come on the show today, now you're asking for people to produce evidence. All the things you were saying about President Weah, you used to sit on that show and say, President Weah took 3 amazing boys, kidney and stuff like that. President Weah, there's somebody who was looking for kidney, the men who are playing soccer. President Weah helped her. There's some of you who are sitting on that show talking that stuff. But today, now you're waiting for people to bring evidence. You got a president who can go to work round 12 and leave round 2. The rest of the other hours that different people running the government. You're not thinking about that. Now you want evidence for people to bring evidence. You don't need to stop that. Okay? You don't need to stop that. You dress your devil, you should be the one to take care of your devil as well. Thank you, Mr. Toll.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you. Okay, well, that's the call. And guys, we are about to wrap up here.
Mr. So, we still got 10 minutes according to the schedule.
I don't know what schedule you have other than the schedule I have. So if you came late, we're not responsible for it. I'm telling you, we're closing. I say you get 10 minutes. Okay. Keta.
Yes, sir. So
what are we going on?
I love the Libra. The Libra bring a lot of humor to this show, and it's awesome. But I call a spade a spade. We're talking about Liberia, yeah. Libra has a lot of history about this nation. And Libra saw the suffering of the Liberian people firsthand. His godfather today is in office. His godfather was part of the 1980 revolution. As a matter of fact, he was mayor in the army. This godfather knows how Liberians suffer. And the Libra stood next to him. Today, the Libra is not able to say to this godfather, enough is enough. The Libra, we are young people. We want to see the best for our country. That's why I became an independent, not because President Weah is out of office. I became an independent because I've seen so many presidents that come and fail the Liberian people only because
including President Weah.
We put our presidents on pedestal. We make them small gods. We see them like they do no wrong. We fear them because we gave them the power and they use the power against us. We must start holding our leaders accountable. We must start holding them for what they told us when they came to ask us to give them the presidency, that they would deliver. We must start holding them for that. For me, I do not care about age. I do not care about his education. I do not care about experience. You came and told us, and he himself said he has the experience. He will fix road. As a matter of fact, he denigrated the former president work. He said the president built sidewalks and call it road and call it street. So I expecting this man to come and build autobahns, to build highways, to build express roads that we can enjoy riding on. This first year, for this man to use $22 million to put more mud on road for people to ride on and call it rehabilitating road. And Mr. Laborer, you an engineer that can look at breaches and say the breach is disqualified. And you can disqualify your own godfather. It's a shame for others.
All right, thank you.
We will not allow that to happen here because we respect you, your work we see you do in California and other places. They are remarkable work you do. But to come and see that you cannot do the same thing in Liberia for calling this president who has performed desperately in his first year is surprising to me, and I can understand.
Thank you so much. Okay. Mr. Collins.
Thank you, Mr. So. Obviously, the revenue job that flow reg in Liberia, and so it's not anything. Because the moment you talk, people attack your position, which is fine. You have the right to say what you want to say. I also have the right to express my Liberianness for the betterment of my country, and that is what I'm doing. And any day, I will be of no shame or regret to defend JMB over President Weah any day. I will do it 100,000 times because it is clear and evident to me that most of the guys, look at Keto tonight, he's fumbling, and Sedition calling on the show to tell him, and that's how they do. That is in with the DC President Weah. They tell him say the war is blue when they know that the war is white. That is how they will be flocked again in 2029. The following, you're talking about, for me, I still go to Spoon TV, I watch them, I take what they say that is authentic and I share it on the platform. I still do. But when they're presenting something that I see everything, I see a propaganda being made up, I'm going to speak against it. It doesn't mean that I'm compromising. I'm not. If I see propaganda, I will talk. I was the same person on the show that said Gafan is not. I don't believe that Gafan is the guy that's supposed to lead the place. I spoke about Amin Modar, his car, the rice, many things that I said on the show. But you guys will not say what we say. That's the difference between you who support President Weah and we who are independent, truly independent, and don't have a side. I've never joined any political party before in my entire life, and I'm not going to join any. All right? That is what we call independent. When you take a side for the betterment of your country, it shows patriotism. It does not show prejudice. And that is the position I will continue to take for the benefit of my country. So you guys got to get it straight. All right? Keto cannot say that President Weah was ineptitude, but he can say that President Boka is President Boka in his first year. 1 year, Keto is telling us that we should build interconnection, how they call it, roads all over the country, interconnection and all of that. We should build that in the country. It's not possible to do that in 1 year, but let me tell you what we have done in 1 year. All the mess that you did not do, we are preparing roads for you. We have dropped the price of gas in 1 year. We have stabilized the U.S. rate in 1 year. We have stepped the budget up in 1 year from 600 million, something that Samuel Twelve failed to do in 6 years, to raise the budget to 700 million. We have raised the budget to 800 million in 1 year.
I still got budget.
Those are the things. That Tabata or Spoon were doing, what they went to or CDC stronghold area there and say they're doing or opinion pool with all sufficient data analysis to determine whether we are coming back. They're not that kind of Tabata propaganda they're playing down there. If you want to determine that the people have lost credibility in the government, show us data analysis from all over the country, not in one little small little packet. The president did, and I want to say this to Mr. Victor, the president did provide an opportunity for people to travel throughout the length and breadth of the country in 90 days. He did that. He said he was going to provide, he was going to make sure that there will be no car stuck in the mud. In 90 days, he was able to successfully do that. You cannot challenge that. So there are records to show right now the rules are being applicable again, and we are struggling. But yes, there are missteps, there are failures, but the failures in this government is 10 times, 20 times better than the failure on a president. We have restored responsible government to Liberia, where the international community have drawn attention to the republic. That is not in empty. Thank you very much.
Okay. Mr. Nambwe, your microphone.
Thank you, sir. I'm listening to Pastor Colin here, and I'm wondering, if you realize today is Sunday, but he said the president in 90 days we can travel freely, but then he said we're struggling. So I don't know which one it is, but I digress. It is shocking, and I'm reading the comments here. Esther and others here, they are just as shocked as I am that today, Pastor.
But Esther is a sedition.
That Terry is disowning Spoon TV. I mean, Spoon TV.
I'm not. I never disown Spoon TV. I'm there every day.
So, what I would say is what the Spoon TV family did for them by helping them to give them a sounding board for the people in the streets to tell them how disappointed they are. They need to thank them. They need to thank Spoon TV because they're giving them an opportunity to see themselves in the mirror, how they are doing. And I tell my UPP friends and the supporters of this government, don't discount what those people are saying on that tape, because those people represent the Liberian people, not the people you sit that way in the ballrooms and all of that. And if they continue to look in the rear view mirror and continue to blame we're about 12 months going in now, everything they want to compare themselves to who is behind them. I mean, they came in here because the Liberian people rejected Mr. Weir by 1.28%. Yes, that's how much they won by. They are also a 1%. I'll repeat that. I know the liberal is to hear that. But the facts are stubborn. It is a fact. They are a 1%er as well. 1%er, that's what they are. So they want to be very careful because the difference between they and we is a very thin line. Just 20,500 votes. It's not a lot to cross over. If they continue to look in the rear view mirror and blame Weir, they will struggle in 2029. The people are becoming very frustrated, disappointed, and impatient. They're telling them, and what they're doing is discounting the people's voices. Oh, don't mind Spoon, he went and, their number one fan is now the one who is against them. Go figure. But I can tell them, I know they're making it easier for the opposition to find their way coming in. I hope Mr. Cummings will be able to put together a formidable opposition to challenge Weir and Wakai. I think there is a fighting chance there, and I hope the advantage will be taken.
Okay.
So I want to thank you all for the opportunity. Every time we come in here and showcase, the expectation, the performance, and what could have been. and let our people decide. Let our people judge. Thank you very much.
All right, folks, that does it this evening. What is he doing?
yo, Mr. Victor, you beat the woman somewhere that he wearing mask. What happened? You got it,
bro. I have to protect myself from the tabata of Walter Carter and Victor on this platform here tonight, because the tabata is so much that I'm being told to wear the mask. What a shame! What a shame! Walter Carter, you see, but that's one thing about your sedition. Once a sedition is always a sedition, and putting your foot in your mouth, you guys don't care about that. Look up Ever. Oh, Ever Presley, of course. I forgot. Ever has left the house, ladies and gentlemen. Ever has left the house. Aren't you gonna come here and instead of you to acknowledge Walter Carter, you're gonna come here and try to praise him, to say he did what good they did by him pressing all his, wrapping himself all over the place, don't even know what to say? Is that what you're gonna come here and come praise? What a shame! And then of course, I number 9. He always come here. What's the color? What behind you? That piano behind you? That piano that President we can play? And that why you want to come by in power playing piano? You people are a laughing stock. There is no way. There is no way Liberian eyes are open now. The only way your president will come by, you listen to me. He will not dance, he will not sing. He want drink, he can drink. Fine. But let him dress in pro suit. Forget about that pro suit, pro something. But say I'm coming through on my pro. I'm gonna throw up a pro suit. We're gonna pro suit. You got people why you gonna jump around here looking at bumblebee. That's why you coming to that way you come to sit here, you come praise President. We are yellow, blue, black, all kind of nonsense people are wearing all over the place. We're gonna that the president you all want to bring back.
Mr. So put in the back.
I'm gonna put in the back.
For what? For what? I'm telling you the truth. They make him power of propose all kinds of color, all flying all over Maria. What nonsense that Samuel Tour over there and he have been living a dictator. Is that why I want us to bring back in our country? They're not gonna do it.
Okay, liberal, we gotta go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Mr. So the liberal is not done. I'm giving a specific time. Who says so? Why you want to take my time away? But let me make this point. Tonight, Mr. So, it's a beautiful show. What we're here to do is to be the counterweight. Before I came, all three of you had a free ride. Talking about scholarship day and scholarship that. I can't send your Gary. You are done. And no more scholarship business they're being discussed here tonight. That's how we're going to deal with you guys. We're not like CDC. They don't say anything. They don't respond nothing. Any one of you just say fuen. We like it, we come out, we say fuen.
Liberal, the audience say even your life is ultra virus. So
I don't care. That's right. That's it.
Your laugh is fake. Oh yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you so much, and
thank you very much.
We move from Grand Gita. Let's do this and play your own lover. You can play.
We are the real country.
Your country play today, something?
Lofa will win a championship.
Oh, okay.
We got money. We can borrow.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, but we know you're
and our son are doing the same.
You know something about Luna.
All the crew pro from Ghana to come play for them.
You know something about Luna. We know where you are.
5 times. I'll be there.
You're good there, Baba. Okay, folks.
You have the last laugh. We'll see you next week.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
Pleasant evening. All right, Libra, thank you so much. I'm Afonso Zienso, and that's how we're going to leave tonight's program. To our viewer, listener, thank you so much, and have a pleasant evening.